Our neighbor, Steve, down the street, he had his done, and literally every time I passed by his house, I stopped and admired the windows. He had told me all about them. I didn't really think it was for us, but when I kept stopping and looking, it was obvious that it was making a huge difference, and I just thought, I have to have them, I have to have them.
But we looked at it before because of energy efficiency. We have solar, we're very eco-conscious, and so I knew windows would help with energy, so that was kind of a twofold thing. Well, we never really thought about the looks of it so much until we saw somebody else's. You know, the age of the house, you just have to do basic maintenance, you know, and we had people look at the windows before and go, oh, there's cracks and the seals are going out and blah, 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 blah. Plus they're 27 years old and so they can't be as efficient. Again, I go back to energy. That's the whole thing that was really important to us to make sure that we were energy efficient home.
And we have the two back windows, and they would get very, very hot. In the afternoon in the summer, very, very hot. In fact, we have a couch by one of the windows, and it was hard for me to sit on that couch because the heat was coming in so much. It was really very, very noticeable.
I think I did a little bit of self-education, and my son-in-law's father sells commercial windows, so we've had conversations. So we learned all about the argon gas and all the double, triple kind of different panes that they have, and so, you know, we kind of keep up on that anyway, just energy-wise. And so I never thought the look would be as cool as it is, but that definitely came into play. Or the noise reduction. That was an added benefit we hadn't even considered. We looked at 4 different companies, and the other ones were very sales pitchy, right? They were very,
untrustworthy.
Like textbook 101, sleaze marketing, right? It was just, and Robert, who did us, was very low pressure. Oh yeah, do that, you can do that. It was just very, it was a trusting thing,
It wasn't a come on.
No, it didn't feel like we were pressured. It didn't feel like, they had to sell us on anything. It was very, I don't know, it was pretty easy. It was like sitting down talking to, a friend of yours, right? It's like, hey, what do you like about windows? Well, these will work. And it was a super easy process. Yeah.
And I feel like we're pretty savvy people, and we're not going to be cheated or anything, and I felt very, very comfortable with him, very comfortable. So that made a big difference, especially when you're spending money on something and in your home.
Right.
So it was a big deal.
Yeah, Robert laid out exactly what the process was going to be. He did a preliminary measurement. Guys were going to come out the next day or the day after and do more detailed measurements or verify. And then we got a sheet of, these are all the windows, this is the kind of window, and we made sure those were all correct. And then he laid out the whole process of, it's going to take us 4 to 6 weeks to get the windows. They come in, we do a QA, we make sure everything is there, then we call you to schedule. So it was, everything happened the way it said it was going to happen.
Right.
It was 6 to 8 weeks to get, or 4 to 6 weeks to get the windows, a week to schedule. When they said they were going to come out, they came out. It was a 3-day install, neat, tidy, done. It was really kind of flawless.
We had some place to be that last day, and we were concerned, is it going to go over? And it didn't at all. They came and we got to be on our way for our vacation.
Yeah, so everything that happened according to plan, and we were informed the whole time. So it was a no-brainer.
For me, it's the beauty of them. I sit out every day, have coffee in the morning, and I look at the windows, and I love them, love them. I love the look of them. I think make the room look more expansive. It's more modern. It looks like a modern feel. I love the framing on the outside. for me, it's the beauty of the window.
Yeah, I don't know if I really noticed the sound yet. Maybe people can't hear us scream so much when we're in the house, but they don't, you know, I think the lack of hearing things outside, it's not one of those things you go, oh, now I don't hear, right? It's just, it seems quieter, seems a little more cozy, I guess. You know, you just, there's not all the external planes. We used to hear planes take off, and I just haven't even noticed not hearing it. But when you think about it,
We haven't heard it.
we haven't heard it, right? And so, and our dogs barking, and people walking by, our cars driving by, all of those kind of things. It feels cooler because the windows are slightly tinted. Not that it stops any light from coming in, but they have a kind of a green hue to them that really kind of makes it look cool.
That's what drew me
Yeah.
at first when I drove by and saw. I just think they look very rich,
Yeah.
very rich looking. They don't look cheap at all. Well, they're not cheap, but they don't look cheap at all, and I think it's so well worth it.
And we got rid of those fake panes, which I never liked anyway. And so all of these now, it's a clearer view out the window than it used to be, and they're clean. The other ones weren't clean because they were dirty.
Yeah.
Makes a big difference.
I was concerned about the messiness. I thought it was going to be an absolute mess
During the install.
during the install. And I was rescheduling our cleaning people. You're going to need to come right afterwards because the house is going to be a mess. But I was blown away by how with each window there was constantly a vacuum going on, and they were vacuuming as they went. So there was no cleanup afterwards, and I thought that was remarkable. I couldn't believe that there was no cleanup. They were neat, tidy. They were just excellent. It was just excellent. Yeah, that was a big deal for me.
And they
And
put
my
all the
ear-
we have a big couch upstairs we have a media room, and we eat popcorn. There's all kinds of popcorn around. I've tried to pull that out and clean it, and that's not easy. Those guys, they got it out, put it back in, didn't even know they were in there. I mean, it was really easy. And I thought it was going to be hot. You know, here it is, middle of July.
I thought
100, 110 degrees outside, no window, but they'd close the doors. They put visqueen on there, whatever they needed to do to make it so that it didn't get hot. We never even felt it.
So those little things, it was like, wow.
They know what they're doing.
They know what they're doing. They really do.
We use the best windows, cause nothing works better. Desert King windows, we knock out the weather.